This is not what we had planned. When we planned to set out for Elliston, it was for a quick overnight trip until we could get to Streaky Bay and then cross the Bight. But getting into Elliston proved to be more difficult than we could have ever imagined.
I'd been planning for 4 years to get this journey together and spent many thousands of dollars getting the boat ready to go. And it was disheartening and heartbreaking, and also absolutely terrifying coming into Elliston that day and seeing those conditions.
We spent the next couple of days deciding what we were really capable of, whether the conditions were right for us to cross the Bight, and whether it was worth our safety and our happiness to even attempt it.
And ultimately, we weren't ready to go. If we were to see the seas that we saw coming into Elliston over a sustained couple of days, crossing the Bight, it would have broken us and been incredibly dangerous to do so. So we decided over a couple of days in Elliston to maybe turn back and change our plans for the future.
So that was that. We'd head back to Lincoln, we'd regroup, we'd figure out a plan to sail back to Adelaide and figure out what to do with the rest of this year that we'd taken off and what we should dream for next, seeing as this dream was over. We tucked our cameras away most of the time, but once we decided to leave Elliston in the right window, we found opportunities to have a laugh. And that's one of the best things to take out of this trip, is that as much as everything else was challenging and sometimes dangerous, Tyler and I always managed to find a way to have a laugh.
Prick!
What you looking at, Swan? Hello, good morning. Today is the first day of phase 3, so the homecoming tour, now that plans have changed. So we've just snuck into Port Lincoln Marina. We just came into Port Lincoln Marina last night so we could power up 100%, power all of our electronics up, fill up the water tanks while we have a marina. But otherwise we've been staying in the front of Port Lincoln for the last few days, and now we're gonna sort of slowly make our way home. So we're going to go into the St. Joseph Banks of Islands for the next couple of days before we go to KI, so Kangaroo Island. Weather's looking good, we're feeling good, feeling excited. We've kind of accepted that this is the way that things are at the moment, so we're just going to make the most of these last few weeks, sailing before we get home for the wedding, and then go into phase 4, which is something else entirely. So rolling with the punches. Excited to leave Port Lincoln again, we were heading to Revesby Island, which is one of the larger islands as a part of the Sir Joseph Banks group of islands. It was a short 22 nautical mile sail, so we're going to anchor in the early afternoon and head out exploring. What's the crack, Captain?
We are heading up to...
Do you want to talk to me?
Sorry?
What you looking at?
We're looking at a fish farm. There's like a rows of fish farms. We'll film them as we come through, but it's what Lincoln's known for. It's you got to really dodge your way in and out of Lincoln, and then even when you're in Boston Bay, you're dodging around blue groper fish farms in there as well. So we're on our way up to the Sir Joseph Banks group of islands. We're going to spend a couple of nights up there in a couple of different anchorages. Hopefully see some seals and do some swimming and have a grand old time. We might send the drone up, see what the wind's doing. and then we'll start making our way back to Yorks. But we're on course right now. We're on. I'm not sure what we're doing. We're doing about 40 degrees, so we're heading northeast, and yeah, about a 25-mile sail. So we should be there hopefully about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something like
Let's
that.
have a little looky. Cruisy 4.3.
What's in the way?
The cover, the window that you rolled up. That's right. Is it just the red buoy that we need to worry about on that side?
Yeah, it looks like it at this stage.
Yeah.
Over to starboard a little bit more. Steer away. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like we've got a nice clean space between these two.
Yeah, there's a buoy on this side as well, though.
On this side?
Yeah.
Oh, what's that one for?
This side.
Right. Didn't see that one.
You're blocking my vision, so you need to tell me what to do.
Yeah. Right, let's hope that's alright. I'll keep this straight line.
Yep. And then come over to port a little bit in a minute.
Not
Then
yet.
you've got yellow and white buoys out there as well.
Yeah. So, see these two yellow buoys?
I can see one.
There's one further out.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so you want to head to the right of those yellow buoys. Right of that furthest out one.
I want to keep the buoys on my starboard side.
You're turning to port, Danielle. So you want to keep those yellow buoys on your port.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're having a lovely day today. We're a couple of hours outside of the Joseph Banks groups of Island. We're heading to Revesby Island first, but we're hoofing. Engine off,
Engine off.
sails up.
6.5 knots.
You look happy about it. What do we got, pal?
Some bruschetta.
Say it. Say it like you mean it.
What?
Say it like you mean it.
Bruschetta?
Nah, you're a bloody Oz dog all day long.
You want me to say bruschetta?
Yeah. Down in your belly? So we've got an incoming tide and the tender is bloody heavy. So we're going to pull it up so far. So we have a tender anchor. Talk us through it, Captain.
Yeah, it's a little sand anchor. The previous owner thought this was an appropriate second anchor for a 38-foot yacht.
Oh, I didn't know that. What?
Yep.
What, for the boat?
Yep. He was told by law that he needed to have another anchor if he was to sell the boat. And this is the anchor he got.
That doesn't even look like it's going to hold in that soft sand.
I hope it does.
Confidence is key.
Yeah. part's that part there. Being the only footprints on the beach. This is why we did it.
So Joseph Banks was Matthew Flinder's cash daddy and paid for his circumnavigation around Australia on the ship The Investigator. We had a bit of trouble trying to find any history about Indigenous Australians who inhabited the land, but there is indication that there were white Australians who lived here. As we poked around, we found an abandoned farmhouse and saw some bits and pieces that indicated it might have been a museum at one point. We don't know why people were there, how long they stayed for, or why they left. What we're left with was an abandoned and pristine little island, which was fun to explore for a few hours. Ooh!
Australia. Yeah, they can have it.
The Stickney Island. We don't have Gandalf standing saying, "You shall not pass." We have horrific spiders.
Different part. Can you see anything in there?
Wheelbarrow. What are you doing?
There's some like history shit in there. Like this was a bit of a museum in the day. I bought on unique history of diving in the area. I didn't really read it. It was small print. No wonder that.
Oh,
No wonder
so
it's abandoned.
the mate. Bloody hell! You're having a laugh. What would they be?
Don't know. Like a huntsman or something?
No, it's got something going on. It's tushes.
Is it? Too big to be
Whitebacks.
yeah, whitebacks or redbacks.
Not exactly naturists. the tide has come up nicely for us. Scoot on home. Next time on Never Not, we continue our little island hopping adventure, heading over to Blythe Island to go swimming with the seals before we move on to Spilsby Island for the night. But unfortunately, things just didn't go right, and once again, we're wondering what the bloody hell it was we were doing out here. Thanks so much for watching. Please remember to click the thumb, subscribe, say hello to us in the comments, and share with your mates. And if you like any of the merch that we've been sporting around the island, check out the link in our bio to see our little store. Until we see you again on Never Not Sailing.